Hi, everyone. Welcome to Uptown TV again. This is your go to media platform and, of course, community discussions page where we can share our ideas on different topics like lifestyle, entertainment, music, of course, arts as well, various social issues, and, of course, many, many more. And with me today is my co host, Carla. Hi, Carla.
Hi, Wenny, and hello to our Uptowners as well. Welcome to another episode of Uptown TV, and today we'll be talking about our careers, career coaching to be exact. Alam mo, Wenny, I think this is very timely kasi I'm sure marami sa viewers natin ang medyo na-demotivate, lalo na sa situation natin today.
Actually, that's true, Carla, I'm pretty sure na marami sa mga viewers natin ang interested dito sa topic natin, especially in how to bring back that spark when it comes to work and, of course, yung career. And I'd like to introduce our guest today. He is a top-ranked corporate educator on leadership and other people skills. He is a motivational speaker, a management and marketing professional. He is a contributing writer and columnist on career and leadership for the Philippine Daily Inquirer and has authored two well received books entitled Practical Wisdom to be Happy at Work and Project Purpose Find Your
Uh-uh.
Why to Find Your Way. There you go. So please
Yes.
welcome Mr. Boris Joaquin.
Hey
Yes, Sir
there.
Boris.
Hi, Carla. Hi, Winnie. Thank you for having me sa Uptown TV.
Welcome to Uptown TV, Sir Boris, and we are very excited to have you with us and share some insights on career management. So first and foremost, can you tell us something more about like what type of coaching or career coaching that you do?
Well, to be honest, I'm actually more of a leadership coach. So, to give you a background there, I'm actually in the learning and development industry. So, what I do is I conduct a lot of learning sessions or interventions, and the interventions actually includes, and Carla is probably so familiar with this, a lot of corporate trainings, learning sessions, and right now virtual webinars and virtual workshops. But other than that, another form of intervention is what we call coaching. But most of the things that I do is actually executive and leadership coaching or management coaching. So I coach a lot of CEOs, managers who wants to improve on their performance, delivery, and output. So performance, I'm also a performance coach. Pero since I'm very active in our local church community, which we're mentoring and coaching in the Christian lingo, we call it discipleship. Since I do a lot of mentoring in the church and in the community, I guess that's where career and personal coaching comes in. You become a life coach to people that you mentor and guide along the way. But professionally speaking, to be technical about it, I'm really more of an executive coach or a performance coach.
Wow. Okay, so pag sabing performance or executive coach, what type of approach do you normally do dito sa mga CEOs or yung mga upper management? If I understand, management would be upper management, yung mga kino-coach
Yeah,
natin.
yeah,
What
yeah.
type of
We
approach do you normally do, Sir Boris?
Yeah, we actually have a parang power hour. So it's just limited to an hour. It's composed of several sessions. It depends on how you want to, know, how you want the coaching to be more intrinsic and how you want the objective to unfold. Kunwari, for some leaders or executives, they want to develop certain skills. Or for some leaders, they want me to help them solve management problems or organizational problems. So it could be task specific. So it could be very periodical, or there's a specific duration, or it could be parang ongoing because it's a developmental level. We want the person to level up. So sometimes I have a very young executives, normally from family-owned businesses, na mana na nila yung kanilang role as CEO or managing director or general manager, and they need to level up their skills when it comes to leading an organization and all that. So in terms of approach, Wenny, since you asked that, it's really more coaching is really more a barrel emptying approach, or you need to draw it out from them. So coaching essentially is we want the person to achieve awareness and responsibility. We want them to be aware about something and then eventually take ownership on the action points. Um, Both of my parents are educators and they're teachers, they're professors in the university. And the thing that they always teach me when it comes to educating an individual now, there's two principles. There's barrel filling and barrel emptying. So kunwari, like this, I have a glass beside me. So barrel filling is like mentoring. You want to, it's a directive approach. You want to teach someone and fill up the barrel. I mean, especially if it's an empty cup, they don't know anything much. And normally you do that with children, high schoolers, people are younger than you. But coaching, on the other hand, is barrel emptying. So you draw it out from the person. You assume that these CEOs, this leadership executives, they know what they're doing. They have some amount of knowledge. But as a coach, you make them aware of what needs to be done or what kind of accountability they need to put into a specific job or project. So it's really a lot of asking questions. It's really like guiding them and really digging deeper on the why they're doing it. Why is it supposed to be done this way? So once they discover the root causes or they understand the reason behind things, hopefully they form their own sets of solutions and come up with a strong sense of ownership that this is my action steps afterwards. Sorry, masyadong mahaba. But that's essentially what coaching does.
Yeah. Ah, Ganun pala yun, no? Dalawa pala yun. I didn't know. I just thought that it's more of the teaching ka lang. Parang ang notion kasi is always like barrel filling eh. Just teach,
No, that's not.
give information. Pero meron palang ganon. May different kind of approach, especially for those for upper management and yung medyo matured na students.
Oh yes, misconstrue ang coaching eh. Akala nila if you're a coach, parang anything goes. Parang I should coach you and tell you what to do. It's not the case. Coaching is a very indirect approach, and it's so far it's very empowering to the coachee or whoever you're coaching, di ba?
Yeah. Sir Boris, can I ask, how about the approach naman for a low-level management? Or let's say for employees. Kasi if I understand you
Rank and
correctly, it's a
file.
different
Parang ganon.
approach for, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, that's where mentoring comes in. Because that's why there's coaching and mentoring as a learning intervention tool or conversation tool. Kasi it doesn't have to be in a classroom setting, di ba? As long as you're leading or guiding someone, minsan dalawa lang talaga yung choices mo. Either you mentor or you coach. And normally, someone who is younger than you, so ang qualification mo actually is education, experience, and expertise. So tatlong iyon. So if you're ahead of the pack in terms of knowledge, of your expertise, of your skills, and your understanding and maturity, then anybody who's younger than you, not just by age but by tenure, barrel filling yun. You should be mentoring. It's a directive approach. And what the beautiful thing about coaching is that you don't need to be an expert or you don't need to be knowledgeable about what you're coaching about. Parang or kunwari, I'm coaching somebody from the real estate industry or from the aesthetics industry. I don't need to know the industry, but as long as I know my coaching approach, I can coach someone into developing whatever that needs to be developed in them.
Yeah, so yung coaching pala is really relative, no? So even
Yeah.
if you are in different industries, so long as you know how to approach the person, then really you can do coaching and mentoring.
Since we were talking about employees and employment and basically coaching and mentoring, let I would like to know Sir Boris's take on the current situation today na maraming mga na-demotivate na mga workers or employees. So, um, what tips or advice can Sir Boris give to our employees in general, siguro, in general na lang, on how to bring back that motivation and enthusiasm pagdating sa work?
Well, and I guess it's actually very connected then, Carla. No? We're talking about coaching and mentoring. Um, Let me begin with something very profound, and then I'll simplify it for our audience. Uh, in order to be motivated, you need to be intrinsically and extrinsically motivated. So internal and external yon. I think basic given na kailangan externally motivated ka. Ano yung external motivation na yon? I mean, you should be paid well. If you're not paid well, no amount of intrinsic motivation can motivate you. So medyo given yun. The Maslow hierarchy of needs, if you remember that chart, diba? Yung
Yes.
pyramid.
Yes.
The base
Yes.
of the pyramid is the basic sociological needs of the person, and this is security. This is being provided for, being able to eat and be sustained. So nandun yung physical needs. Pag hindi mo covered yon, the topmost part of the pyramid, self-esteem, blah blah blah, you won't be able to meet them. So I guess I just want to start with that kasi minsan some employers are blinded by the idea, oh, I need to hire someone like Boris to motivate people. No, to begin with, you need to supply their needs first. I mean, if their needs are not met, I mean, no amount of talkies can actually motivate them. And that's where the intrinsic motivation comes in. Because sometimes, even if you're well provided, let's say you're well paid for, you have a car package, and I mean, even during the pandemic, parang you're very secure. And then you lack something, and that's what we call the intrinsic motivation. You will still be stale. You'll mawawalan ka pa rin ng gana in the end. And that's where coaching and mentoring comes in, because if leaders know and understand how to coach and mentor people, you draw out something that is intrinsic out of them, because every individual is driven by a purpose, di ba? We're driven by purpose. That's why sino ba nagsabi to? Si Rick Warren said, purpose without purpose, we are definitely demotivated as individuals. I think it's the Bible who said that without vision, people perish. So every person has that sense of purpose, and that's why I wrote the book Project Purpose, finding your why to find your way. And coaching and mentoring, if you're a good leader, if you guide your people very well, you actually match their personal purpose and the organizational purpose. You find a way to integrate them, and that's the intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Now, if people can connect, if they know that, if they're led to understand and they're guided that, my purpose is to do this and this, and then my organization, whether it's a multinational or locally owned company or a startup company, helps me achieve my personal purpose, then I am motivated. And that can only be realized when you intervene with this conversational or intervention tools that we said nga, coaching and mentoring. Because um, for I mean, for all the heck that we know, a lot of people do not know what their purpose is. So they're also in the law. They're also in the dark. So we need to guide them, and coaching and mentoring does that exactly. So you need intrinsic motivation. Just to a good balance between the two will definitely, and it's a surefire. I mean, surefire method, and we've seen it in research after research, and even in my personal experience. People or employees are more motivated that way.
Yes. Well, how about when it comes to intrinsic, Sir Boris? Minsan kasi may time na, although we know, minsan we all know our purpose, but somehow we can't seem to find that parang pitik, parang ganon. Parang yung push to do better or to do, I don't know if it's a mix of siguro external, yung environment then and the situation. Like how, what are your tips to parang get yourself to be more motivated?
I mean, from a personal capacity, by is that you're
Yeah,
saying?
from a
A
personal
personal capacity.
capacity. Yes. Mm.
Yeah. Well, to begin with, I think we really need to know. There are two motivational factors individually. I mean, psychologically speaking, um, hands off. Ano to, you need this. Everybody needs this. A strong sense of mission and a strong sense of membership. So a strong sense of mission is the purpose nga. Parang you need to belong to something that you believe in. Diba? If you don't believe in something, parang you will always be dissatisfied. You'll be jumping from one job to another. And the reason you've been jumping from one job to another is because you didn't believe in the mission of the previous job. Ganun lang yun kadali. And that's why there's a lot of thriving organizations, according to Jim Collins in his book, Good to Great. Organizations na volunteerism, di ba, we volunteer in causes, in NGOs, in movements that we don't even know, parang that doesn't even pay us. But since we believe in the cause, we actually volunteer our time and give our efforts and even our money to help them parang mobilize their cause. So a strong sense of mission, because direction is very key. Life is too short to be directionless, and it's too long to be doing something meaningless. So we would rather be investing our time on something that we feel good about. If we don't, then that's the time we feel distracted. We wala tayong gana. We are jaded. So, but it has to be a strong sense of mission. And then the second part is also equally critical: a strong sense of membership, belongingness. You have to find your tribe, diba? You thrive with your tribe. You succeed with your team, and it has to be a family, diba? It has to be someone that you can relate with, connect with. Sometimes the company, diba? You probably heard the saying, people join companies because they love the mission, vision of the companies, but they leave the companies because of their managers. They didn't feel the sense of belongingness. They didn't feel that connection, or that empathy, or that connectedness na parang, I have your back. We're a team. We're like a basketball team. We're like a football team that we're out there to win it. And you see that over time, parang regardless of your life stage, whether you're in college, na ang lakas nung ano mo, nung university loyalty mo, di ba? Like La Consolacion will have that, Ateneo and LaSalle would have that, UST would have that, UP would have. So we should take a cue on that, because companies should also build that kind of camaraderie and loyalty among people with their companies. So individually speaking, and I remember my days when I was writing for a column in Inquirer about happy at work. That's normally the tips that I would normally give. And medyo mahaba yung pwedeng tips, pero first of all, you need to discover your mission and purpose in life, and that's an entire new discussion by itself. Because when you know your purpose, you don't join a job for money. You join the job because there's a mission, and the money just follows afterwards. And that's actually is a good gauge in your career development. And while you're single, do that, because once you're married and you have responsibilities to pay the bills and all that, mahirapan ka na maging choosy about the jobs that you take, because you're operating on monetary needs, not on the missional aspect of it, which one will give you more satisfaction. And of course, the second one is you need to find your tribe. You need to find that group of people that you can, that you can feel that this is my community, this is my people, this is where I could grow roots into, and I could interact with these people. I could learn from them, and I could help them also. So it's a coexistence, because as human beings, we need to love and be loved. That's a given, and that's a given equation. And admittedly, when you're employed, when you have a job, majority of your time is at work, diba? So napaka-sad naman nung reality mo if you're in a work who doesn't love you, or a work that you don't love. So it has to be a community of love. Otherwise, hindi ka magtatagal doon, and you'll be miserable for the rest of your life. So those two things.
Wow, that's wonderfully said, Mr. Boris. No, so totoo nga no na the culture that you create inside the working environment is very crucial, especially in boosting the morale of your people. Yun pala talaga ang sumatotal, kumbaga. Kasama talaga siya. Okay, anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Boris, sa very helpful tips dito sa napaka-short discussion po natin. But before we end, I'd like to ask a parting word. Probably, if you could give us your parting message sa viewers po natin. And also, please tell us where we can reach you.
All right. Well, thank you also. I enjoyed my time with you guys. It's really a good way to refresh myself also on the things that I normally talk about, whether in a large group or in a one-on-one conversation. Siguro to anybody who's listening there right now, um, you were created for something better in life. So um, sabi ni Rick Warren, I also learned this from him. There are stages daw in our lives, parang and they all start with the letter S: survival, success, significance. And a lot of us, honestly, we are trapped in that survival mode. Parang isang kahig, isang tuka, and lalo na during this pandemic, I think we were more caught by surprise. We were caught off guard when this happened, and all the more parang we were holding on to dear life. But when things get better, when you get a footing on what's happening in your life, I really suggest you take those advices seriously on building and discovering and building rather your strong sense of mission, your purpose in life, finding out what on earth are you here for, what are you born to do, how did God design you for a specific purpose in life. So try to discover that, and there's so many tools to do that, and I'll tell you where later siguro. And then the second one is find a group of people where you can really thrive. Find a place where you can really say that you belong there, and that could be a community, that could be an organization, that could be a company that shares your values and culture and all that. And it's very critical to do that because eventually you want to graduate from that survival stage, and you want to be successful. But more than just being successful, because anybody can be successful. Personally, my definition of success is that if you own your time, kung pag-aari mo yung oras mo, I think that's really what success is, because money, you can always recover that, but you can never recover time. So other than being successful, you need to aim for being significant. And when you're significant, when you know what you're there for, what you're supposed to be doing, you know where to say yes to, you know where to say no to, and then that guides you along the way. And whether you're prosperous as a choice or not, it definitely will make you happy in the long run. So I really hope you guys would discover where you are right now. Just understand, and then just understand that your predicament, and it's okay to be in the survival mode, and because you don't really have a choice about it. But know that you are meant for something better than that, and try to develop a game plan on how you want to get out of that situation and be more successful and eventually more significant. Because I assure you, we are meant for significance, not just for survival. So with that, thank you so much. And you can get in touch with me through my website. There's borisjoaquin.com. If you want to discover your life purpose, in Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram. It's at Boris Joaquin also. I think my team has a promo there right now. If you follow me on Instagram and then message me and then tell them that you watch Uptown TV, you will get a link that you can download, and there's a free book for you called Project Purpose: Find Your Why to Find Your Way.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Boris. And yes,
Yes.
for all the viewers out there, please check him out in Instagram, and be
Mhm.
sure to get yours, the copy of your book. Ayan.
So, yes, thank you so much, Sir Boris, and also to our viewers. We hope that you learned a lot in this episode. And yun, make sure to check his Instagram at Mr. Boris Joaquin's Instagram and also his website. And ako personally, I would like to get a copy of that book. Yan. So, mamaya, pag-usapan natin, Wenny, how we can get that. Ayun. So, there you have it, guys. And make sure that you follow our channels in YouTube at Uptown TV Media, in Facebook and Instagram. Follow us, like, and subscribe for more informative discussions.
Yes, and also if you have specific topics in mind, that you want to talk about, just message us in our social media handles, which was earlier mentioned by Carla. There you go. So stay tuned for our next episode here in Uptown TV. This is Wenny.
And this is Carla saying adios, ciao, and goodbye.